I'm going to use the Kat Von D liner, the tattoo liner. And I'm doing just short strokes across my my lid, and then just pulling the color out. I have a blog post on this on my site if you guys want to know how to do liner step by step in written form. That looks good. Pretty even. Now I am going to do my lashes. I'm not going to curl them because I'm just going to use falsies. So I'm using the MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash. Doesn't give me any volume or anything like that, but it just helps to hold my falsies up. I'm using the House of Lashes glue, and I honestly don't know what falsies I'm using because I just take them out and store them in my little case. So I'm just putting like a thin amount of glue and letting it dry, not completely dry because you still want it to be a little tacky. Just you want to let it dry enough so that it doesn't slip off the lashes. Not the actual lashes, but so that it doesn't slip off when you apply it right there at the lash line. Man down. I dropped them. So when I apply the lashes, I apply it looking down because my mirror's down here, and then when you look down, your lid is kind of flat. So if you apply it above, it just kind of flattens and stretches out the lid so that you're able to really see what you're doing and apply it as closely to the lash line as possible. And then sometimes I just press it down a little bit with my tweezers. When you're using tweezers, you want to use something that's very, very dull. You should never use anything sharp near your eyes. So the tweezers that I use are very dull. You don't want to use anything sharp, especially if you're a newbie. I would hate for anybody to hurt themselves trying to do that. But yeah, okay, and so I'm gonna apply my second lash here. Now the thing with the glue, I normally just like using clear glue. Now black tends to make the lashes look a little bit bulkier than they normally would. And you don't want to have like a really thick lash line, unless you do. If you are doing a black liner like I do, then black works pretty great. But I always tend to go back over it with my liner to blend my lashes and the lash line. Okay, so that's on there. That's what we're looking like right now. And I'm just gonna go over it with my liner again to hide the lash line. I'm using the Guerlain primer. This is the gold one. My skin has been kind of dry and weirdly oily at the same time. I've been doing like different facials and chemical peels to my skin, so it's been a little off lately. So I'm going to use this primer, kind of press it in. Now you don't have to use a primer. I'm just using a primer because of the weird state that my skin is in, and I've been trying different foundations and stuff, so this kind of gives the foundation something to hold on to. But most formulas already have that stuff in it, so you don't need to go and buy a new product really unless you want to. But I'm gonna go back to my old trusty, which is the L'Oreal True Match. It's in the shade Warm Caramel Beige W7. A little hair there. Okay, so I'm just gonna put some on the back of my hand. It does not have a pump, which is annoying, but the formula is really great for the price point. And I'm gonna take a Coastal Scents brush. This is BR10. And work this all over my skin. This foundation reminds me a lot of the new ColourPop foundation. That didn't work for me, but it just blends out a lot better, honestly. Okay, so I am going in with the Dior Forever concealer. Dior Skin Forever Undercover Concealer. That's a mouthful.
That's what she said!
Okay. I like this one because it's very thin, so it doesn't crease on me. It's just so pigmented. It stays put. A little goes a long way. And I'm just highlighting areas that would normally be highlighted on my face. And for my nose, I don't really have a bridge on my nose, so I kind of cheat it and create one. So that's why I'm adding a little bit of highlight in that area, because it balances once I put the bronzer in that area. And then sometimes I'll contour in that area, but I just need a little bit of warmth in that area to even my skin out. So I'm gonna blend it with this one here. This is the Morphe M335. It looks like this for my concealer. So I just really blend out the edges, and then I go back in with my sponge. Okay, and then I'm going to go back in with my sponge now. It's still pretty damp. That. Now I'm going to go ahead and set everything, and I am going to be using the ColourPop No Filter Powder in shade Banana. And I'm gonna lightly dust that underneath my eye. Very little powder, just using a little bit in the cap. This is the Wayne Goss. Ooh. Doesn't have a name. So I'm just taking a little bit of powder and just lightly dusting that under. Same with this side. So I'm dusting that to kind of set everything, but not very much. Then I'm gonna go back in and put more powder on top to catch whatever fallout I get from the very pigmented shadow that I'm gonna put under my eyes. And just set every place that I put that concealer. And put a little bit of extra powder in places that I normally get oily throughout the day. So here, lightly dust that. The thing about setting powders too, with flashback, if you put a lot of it, you'll get flashback because the flash, you know, is highlighting those areas. Now, flashback doesn't have to necessarily be a bad thing because it can, you know, brighten and highlight those areas in the evening. But if you put too much, you'll be looking like this in photos, which, who wants to look like this, girl? Not today. Alright, so I put some under there to catch the fallout, and we're going to go back in and finish the eyes. Alright, so I'm going to use this Sephora pencil. It doesn't even say the color, but it looks like this. I'm gonna have to warm this up on the back of my hand because it is kind of hard to manipulate. I don't want to tug under my eyes. Let's try it again. Definitely prefer eye kohl's, but this one is okay. It just is a little stiff. Now I'm going to go in with a Marc Jacobs liner. This is in black. I love these liners. They are so creamy and soft on the eyes. I'm gonna take this little bitty brush. This is the Morphe E36. Looks like that. And I'm gonna just dip into this color here. And I'm gonna use that to smoke out this purple liner. So just start by adding a little bit of color right there under the lash line and just slightly drag it. Like that. And then I'm going to add the same color in the other eye. Lightly dragging that color along that bottom lash line. Okay, and then I'm going to go back in and blend that color out. Just smoking that color there. Okay, so then I'm going to take a very flat brush. This is also by Morphe. And I'm gonna take this blue right here, or it's more like a turquoise, and I'm going to push the color right in between that purple and the orange. Good. I'm gonna do that just at the outer portion. And that kind of gives it a little deeper smoky effect. And I'm just going to take it and drag it all the way across. There we go. By just putting it at the ends, you ensure that you don't have a black eye. Now I'm using a Sigma face brush. It's a tapered F25 brush, and I'm just going to sweep this extra powder away. Now I'm going to bronze my face up. I'm using the Guerlain Terracotta bronzer, and this is in the Sun Trio, and it's in the shade Deep. And I'm using a flat kabuki brush. This is by Eco Beauty Australia. And I'm taking all those colors and mixing them in there and just kind of giving my face a little bit more color, since the foundation kind of takes away the dimension from your face. Not really, just I'm not sculpting or anything, just literally bringing my color back. And it really helps to even out that line of demarcation that you might have from foundation. But if you blend well enough, you don't have that. But I mean, if you do, it's a great way to use it to blend those two lines together. And I'm just taking that same color really lightly, dusting off the excess, and bringing the color to my nose to create the bridge that I don't have. I'm bringing that color all the way to my brows. I just want color there. You don't want any lines or anything like that. So I'm taking a sponge and blending that out. And the sponge still has some concealer on it. And it's still damp. Just bringing that all up and blending everything together. So there's that. Going back and blending in any line of demarcation that I might have from the bronzer. Okay, and there's that. Now I'm gonna go back in with my eyes and put some more of that mascara underneath the lash line. And the way I do this is I just kind of lightly dust them and then pull the lashes down. That way you don't get my mascara underneath the bottom of the lash. Anything with the eyes, you just want to be very gentle. So I'm going to take my fan brush. This is a Morphe 310. I'm just highlighting here, just on the top of the cheekbones. And this highlighter is by The Balm, because it's the bomb. What? Okay, that was cheesy. Now, since I have oily skin, I normally use matte foundations and apply highlighter in areas to kind of give me that dewy, luminous appearance. But my skin naturally gets like that throughout the day. So when I first apply my makeup, I apply the highlighter and then I blend it in so it kind of meshes with my foundation. so that my whole skin doesn't look like, well, my whole face doesn't look like a disco ball. But in certain lights you can kind of see a nice glow. Nothing too crazy. I'm going to be applying this Tipsy blush over my bronzer area. I'm going to start back here and move it up, and that way it doesn't I don't get too much color. But I mean, you could start here with this one as well, because this one, it's pigmented, but you do have to build it up. So start here, go up. And I just kind of do like a figure 8 motion to blend everything. Just want it to be not just the bulk of the color in this area. I'm gonna take this Wayne Goss 13 brush and a little bit of my regular face powder. And this one is by Jane Iredale. It's in the shade Caramel. And I'm gonna take that, take off the excess, and kind of just buff everything in. And this ensures that everything kind of stays put and it's just very well blended. And it's not too rough. You're not going rough on your skin. It's just a really light blend. Okay, so that's good there. And I'm gonna go ahead and spray my face. But first I'm gonna shake this up. Now this is the Too Faced Peach Mist. I really like it. But girl, it is a workout trying to shake this. Like I'm still shaking it. Still shaking it because you get straight up white dots on your face if you don't. Okay, and I'd always spray one squirt and then do my face. Just really mattifies the skin. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to use the Huda Beauty lip set. So here's the look, guys. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Check out my website if you haven't already. Got a lipstick on my teeth, girl. And hang out with me on my other social platforms. And that's about it. Bye, guys.